Think you know how to ace your political science exam? Think again. The 2026 ISC exam is completely transforming how students need to prepare.
That's absolutely right. The council has made some major changes that students really need to understand.
So, what's the biggest change students should know about?
Well, the exam now has a much stronger focus on higher order thinking skills. About 40% of marks are for analysis and application, not just memorization.
Wait, 40%? That's a huge shift.
Exactly. And it's divided into three main sections: multiple choice, short answers, and long essays.
Can you break down how the marks are distributed?
Sure. Section A has 16 one-mark questions, Section B has 8 4-mark questions, and Section C has 4 8-mark questions.
That adds up to 80 marks for the theory paper, right?
Correct. And then there's a 20-mark project work component that's actually becoming increasingly important.
You know what's interesting? The way exams have evolved from pure memorization to this more analytical approach.
It really reflects how political analysis works in the real world. You need to understand concepts and apply them to current situations.
So what's the best way for students to prepare for these analytical questions?
The key is practicing structured answers. Start with a clear introduction, develop your points logically, and end with a strong conclusion.
And what about time management?
For a 3-hour paper, spend about 25 minutes on Section A, an hour on Section B, and about 75 minutes on Section C.
That leaves 20 minutes for revision?
Exactly. And you absolutely need that revision time to check for completeness and accuracy.
Let's talk about common mistakes. What should students avoid?
The biggest mistake is writing generic answers without specific examples or constitutional references.
So you need to back up your points with concrete evidence?
Yes, and that's where current affairs knowledge becomes crucial. You need to connect theory with real-world examples.
Speaking of real-world connections, let's talk about the project work component.
This is actually one of the most valuable parts of the course. It's worth 20 marks and develops real research skills.
What kind of projects can students choose?
There's quite a range: case studies, surveys, research papers, or even analysis of political films or documentaries.
That sounds much more engaging than just theoretical study.
And it's assessed both by teachers and visiting examiners, so students need to really understand their topic.
What topics tend to score well?
Current issues like judicial activism, electoral reforms, or human rights protection usually work well.
And I imagine presentation matters too?
Absolutely. Clear formatting, proper referencing, and staying within the 2,000-word limit are crucial.
Let's talk about the syllabus content. What are the main areas students need to focus on?
The syllabus is divided into two main sections: Constitution and Government, and Indian Democracy.
Which topics tend to appear most frequently in exams?
Fundamental rights, the federal structure, and comparative studies of Indian and US systems are common favorites.
How should students approach these comparative questions?
Focus on key differences and similarities, and always use specific examples from both systems.
And what about current affairs? How much should students follow the news?
It's essential. Recent Supreme Court judgments, policy changes, and major political developments should be tracked regularly.
Any specific news sources you'd recommend?
Quality newspapers and government websites are best. Avoid relying too heavily on social media sources.
Let's talk about exam day strategy. What should students do in those crucial first minutes?
Use the first 15 minutes to read the entire paper and plan your approach. Start with questions you're most confident about.
And if they get stuck on a question?
Move on and come back to it later. Time management is crucial. Don't waste precious minutes on one difficult question.
What about handwriting and presentation?
Legibility is crucial. Use headings, bullet points, and leave proper spacing between answers.
Any tips for managing exam stress?
Regular practice with past papers helps build confidence. And don't forget basics like proper sleep and nutrition.
Speaking of practice, how many mock tests should students attempt?
Aim for at least 5-6 full-length practice papers under timed conditions before the actual exam.
And what about revision techniques?
Mind maps and flowcharts work well for connecting concepts. Flashcards are great for remembering key terms and articles.
Group study, helpful or distracting?
It can be very effective for discussing different perspectives, but structure these sessions well to stay focused.
Let's wrap up with your top 3 tips for success.
First, understand the new format thoroughly. Second, practice structured answer writing. Third, stay updated with current affairs.
And what's the one thing students often overlook?
The importance of the project work component. It's not just about marks, it develops crucial research and analysis skills.
Any final words of encouragement?
Remember, political science isn't just about memorizing facts, it's about understanding how our world works.
That's such an important perspective.
And with proper preparation and the right approach, any student can excel in this exam.
Well, there you have it, your complete guide to mastering the 2026 ISC Political Science exam.
Just remember, analyze, apply, and always connect theory to real-world examples.
Thanks for joining us on